Today we are honored to have a proud MDI alumnus with us, Mr. Rajeev Sinha. He is a visionary CEO of Onlygood Future Tech, a company that helps business transform themselves into sustainability and circularity. With over 3 decades of experience in supply chain management, apparel manufacturing, and consulting, Rajiv has first-hand experienced the challenges the industries face in balancing growth and responsibility. So, what makes Rajiv's work truly inspiring is his personal commitment to sustainability. So, he sees it as more than just a business strategy; it's a moral imperative. So, leveraging his rich background, he sees business not just as a way of profitability, but to shape a better future. On that note, we welcome you, sir. We are truly honored to have you.
Thank you.
Uh, okay, so to start with, can you take us back to your time at MDI? I know it's been a long, very long time, but like, what were some of your core memories that have really helped you throughout your journey?
Right. So I think in MDI, one of the core principles that we worked on were projects, and we were also given live projects to work on. We were asked to choose the project on our own, and once we chose the project, we were asked to go very deep inside the problem and trying to solve the solution. So trying to get the solution. So I worked with Maruti and tried to help their service center improvement. Now, interacting with Maruti and visiting multiple service centers, going inside Maruti, helped me understand actual business problems. I met hundreds of customers who used to come for their car servicing, and that gave me a perspective on how a large business works and what kind of ecosystem that is generated. What is a frictionless experience for a customer? How do they do the booking of their servicing of the car? How do they come? So that was something very interesting that I learned, and that has stayed with me for pretty till this time.
So, sir, you're the CEO of Onlygood. So, we'd like to know what inspired you to start Onlygood Future Tech because you have an extensive experience in corporate world. So, what inspired you?
So there were a couple of things. First thing was as I grew in life, I realized sustainability is a way of life, and I have included that in my lifestyle. So when we use the word sustainability, it's more like I mean, it's like a jargon that everybody uses, but in simple terms, it means whatever we are consuming, it has to be replenished back or given back to the nature, or whatever we are trying to extract from nature, it has to be balanced. And there is a concept of circularity, which was existing in our society till you can say early 19th century. Then urbanization and westernization of culture took place, and fast food, fast culture, and that led to quick commerce, quick things. And we forgot about the circularity part. We focused more on consumption. So that is one area where it touched me deep inside. And I also started going to nature, trying to inculcate good habits. Went into plantation drive. I've done more than 15,000 trees plantation through a NGO organization that I have. It's called Reset Planet. Then I also worked with another NGO which is called Shiksha Prayas, which we formed when we had just started working in corporate. So right now it is 25 years of age, and we have nurtured students in the last 25 years. So it started with a very small movement, but it became big. So these were things which I realized that I can actively give back to society at the same time make this as a profitable business also. So that was how this idea came. And when we saw sustainability, which was looking as a very lucrative market, business, and opportunity, people were perplexed, confused, and we wanted to simplify and bring something on the table which is easy to understand.
All right, that was great. As a serial entrepreneur, I would like to ask you that what was some of the key challenges you have faced like throughout your I think founded the Vanka or something.
Right, right.
Yeah. So what were key challenges?
So, a couple of things when you start a business, you are focused on business growth, revenue, You're focused on, most of the external factors, how customers will respond, how things will happen. But what happens is internal challenges and internal things needs to be well in place. For example, when you look at your own personality and development, if your foundation and core is strong, then you can actually do much better in life. You can look at exploring different ways. So similarly, when you start an organization, some of the fundamentals are team is very important. So build a team which is reliable, scalable. Each member of the team should be better than you in their respective field. So if you're hiring, let's say, a marketing, or if you're hiring HR, if you're hiring operations or technology, all of them should be at par or better than you. Then only you can grow. Otherwise, they will keep on coming back to you for knowledge and sharing, and it becomes difficult to scale. The other important thing is cash flow. So in a business, when you start, you generally think that you define the business in Excel sheet, and it looks very easy that things can happen. But what happens is cash flow is very, very important, and within 3 to 4 months, you realize that you need to, get that cycle running. So in my mind, team, cash flow, and focusing on building a product or a brand or a solution which has got a long-term impact. So that is important.
So, Onlygood focuses on circularity.
Right.
So, how do you view the future of circularity and sustainability? Everyone is talking about sustainability and it's become a jargon. So, what exactly is the future of circularity or sustainability?
So when we were looking at creating this business, we wanted to come out with a name which reverberates with our thought. So Only Good came very close to that. So we did more than few months of data exploration, and then finally we landed on this. And if you look at the logo also that is there, so the O part that is there, so there is the green part is the earth part, and there is a blue which is the water, and there is a solar system where you have sun. So we created this with a lot of thought into this. And this also represents a circularity. It's a balance of things. Now, how do we bring this on to bring this as a solution for customers? So what we do is, let's say you look at, let's say a car manufacturer, or anything that we are using, laptops or anything. So what happens as a consumer, we think from one point of view. We have used, but after that we either give it to somebody or dump, or it goes as recycling, but we don't know what happens. So that is one area which is to be looked very carefully. And as government and organizations and customers are being very vocal about this, they are also very conscious of this. So any car that you look at, or any laptop that you look at, like Apple announced that they have launched a watch which is 100% green. Now, whatever, it could be a jargon, it could be a marketing gimmick, whatever it is there, but at least the thought has come. They have started looking into that, and others will follow. So similarly, any product that is created, we need to not only use that product, we also need to understand how it is traced back, and we reuse that. Of course, reusage also needs a lot of energy. And the best way that we say is you use uh, anything that you are using should be continuously, uh, you can say, okay, let me cut this. So, okay, so I'll delete that part. हाँ ये चला जा रहा
Can we
है
do the question from the beginning?
नहीं इसको बस I'll just put that part reusage वाला जो था ना so circularity. So जो first part मैंने बोला था we'll use that, and I'll just use that part. So we can cut that. So for circularity, what we do is even if you're wearing a garment, we need to make sure that it should be recycled, or it should be repurposed or reused. That is the only way we can bring our consumption down or pass it on to others. So that is an important part of circularity.
That was great. Looking back, looking back, are there any pivotal moments or failures that you have experienced that have actually boosted significantly to your growth?
Right. So as you grow, there will be continuous challenges. So when we started Only Good, the first moment of truth or first customer acquisition was easy, but then we realized that whatever we have planned, our pricing, our model, our offering, it went to a level and then it just went down. It just dropped dead at a point, and we didn't know what happened. So it took us 3 to 4 months of internal exploration, meeting customers to understand where did we go wrong. So we focused on technology rather than solution. Though we are an AI platform for carbon monitoring, we focus too much on technology. We said we are an AI platform, we do this simulation, but then we realized customers don't understand. They simply wanted, I have a problem, I want to reduce my emission, I want to become better, I can report better. Just help me with this. How you do, that is your thing. So then we changed the whole offering and we focused on simple, easy words for solutioning rather than technology.
So, beyond professional achievements, so there must be a lot of learnings, like outside career. So, we would like to know how those learnings helped your career as such and helped shape Only Good to what it is right now.
So that's a very interesting question. What we do is, it's called the tree of life or the path of life. Every step that you take, you have multiple options over there. So it's like a tree branch that is there. And each step that you take in one direction takes you into that direction, and again a step, and then the branch keeps on moving in a particular direction. So, for example, after MDI, I joined PricewaterhouseCoopers. I focused on supply chain. I worked with them on SAP and business transformation. So that helped me understand business, the problems, the solutions, the total large or the bigger picture that is there. When I started my own business, so that came very handy. That logistics thing, now when I look at that, that was one path that I traversed. And then when I came back, the whole solutioning which I used to do with the team and a lot of brainstorming, that came very handy, and that became one of the key definitions of Only Good, that is supply chain network that we are creating. And when we use that in Only Good, we have a clear USP or a moat that we can say. Only Good is the only company in the world right now which connects companies with its supplier, and the branch can go unlimited. So, for example, Maruti has tier 1 supplier around 500, tier 2 around 2500, and combined tier 1, 2, 3 it's around 7000. Now, that drilling down and getting data from that, getting credible data, it's almost impossible. And then none of the tech solutions have focused on that. So far, they are focused on getting the meat, focusing on Maruti and others where they can quickly get revenue. Whereas we can branch out on upstream and downstream to any kind of level. So that supply chain has come very handy in this part, and it has created a product which is way beyond what the global products are available.
That is great. Actually, I was wondering how you bring in sustainability and technology like together. I was wondering that. Moving on, I think we'd like to ask you something about your personal hobbies or something that you enjoy apart from work, like
Right.
what activities and all.
So as I said, once I embarked on sustainability, my life also slowly started getting changed. My focus on environment, animals, everything started changing. So I used to be a non-vegetarian. Then when I understood the whole thing, when I understood the amount of consumption that is going into this cultivation, so I turned vegetarian, not vegan, but vegetarian. I focused a lot on my self-development and my physical fitness. Being an entrepreneur also means that I should be available all the time. I should be at peace. I should be able to mentor and help my team. Whatever be the situation, I have to be in a position where I can decide on things. So I do yoga, I do gymming very, very regularly. I do running, so I've done more than 15, 21-kilometer runs. And overall, it has changed a lot personally for me walking this path.
Nice. So that's actually being an entrepreneur, being this much into fitness is
It's
actually
important. Actually, if you see an entrepreneur, let's say I am unfit and I'm sick 2 days or 3 days, or in a month I am sick for even 2 or 3 days. It hampers everybody's work. So for me, not being sick. I've been like this for more than 10, 15 years. Zero absent, zero leaves, zero things, So it helps, and it is also an inspiration for team that yes, somebody they can look up to.
Great to hear. So also, there are a lot of startups coming up. So there are a lot of young entrepreneurs, or a lot of people are now looking at entrepreneurship as a career.
Right.
So you talked about how building the right team is important. So
Right.
what other advice would you give to budding entrepreneurs?
I think the first thing is you have to find the right mentor before you start. So though you can have a good idea, and especially if you are very young, let's say you are in your 20s or 30s, then you have not experienced the whole cycle of cash and things. Of course, you can be lucky, but overall, in a systematic process way, there has to be a good mentor. The mentor should help you think about the next 2 or 3 steps very properly. You should think about cash flow, that is important. And also, the business idea has to be very well validated by other team members, other mentors, other founders. And it is always about identifying a problem and the solution which is large and impactful. It should not be something for the moment. It has to be something which is going to solve problems for long term. That's how the whole entrepreneurship journey will be. But there are people who have got different ideas about entrepreneurship. When you said entrepreneurship as a career opportunity, then there could be making money very quickly. So there are people who play on this value game and do that. That is also, fair enough. That is what they want to do. But if you want to build a company for long term and if you want to build a brand, then you have to be pretty choosy and it has to be done very well defined in a manner.
That is very interesting. In fact, I recently read somewhere like it's kind of a meme. So like I was tired of doing 9 to 5, so I started my own
I
business,
know.
and now I'm just working
And believe
24/7.
me, it's the title and things that people look for and aspire that, yeah, I'm the CEO, I'm this. But it requires a lot of effort and it has its own problems. So unless you are mentally and physically very strong, one should not move into this direction. Because with the highs comes lows, and those lows are the moments where you are always alone. Whatever be your friend circle, your family, whatever, whoever are there, you are always alone in this battle. And as you move up, you're more alone. So though it looks very rosy, but it's not that difficult.
Yeah. Okay. So if you were to start a company today, what
Right.
would you do differently? Like if there are some things like that.
So I will have more research done. Like even when we started Onlygood, I had a couple of companies experience with me, and we did a lot of research. We did market research, we did macro, micro, all the research we did. I would spend more energy on research, and I will do more customer centric research where I need to find the problems that I think in my mind and what my team thinks is actually the problem. So, for example, we think sustainability for an organization is a problem and they need some solution. Maybe they need a report or maybe they need a compliance or something. But this is not the problem. This is just one of the things that they want. There could be multiple things that are there. They also want to improve on profitability. They also want to make sure that the cost goes down, the bottom line goes down. They want to create a market leadership because of this particular initiative. So there are multiple things that are there. Once you interview, understand the problem, then the solution that you design could be much better solution. Maybe it will take 6 months extra, but then with the deeper research and understanding, the product and solution could have much bigger impact. And maybe you need to pivot early. So whatever you had thought, maybe you can change that thing and maybe you move on a little different direction. So coming back to your question, I will ensure that I have a good team with me. And the team means at least 4 or 5 team members who believe in me, or the team together we believe in each other. Very good market research, a problem which is far-fetching that needs a genuine solution and which could be scaled. So these are the things. Of course, money and things that are other things that comes, but these are the main things that I would do differently. That's it.
No, sir, one more question. This is actually So we are coming from MILE. It's the entrepreneurship club of MDI. So you know life at MDI, how hectic it is, and there is no time that we can dedicate for entrepreneurship. So what advice would you give students whose main scarcity is time to get into entrepreneurship, and also what advice would you give MILE as a club to inculcate a culture of entrepreneurship at MDA?
First of all, time, as you said, so there has to be a better time management process that needs to be there. And you need to, once you decide on working something, you will find time. Like all of us are busy in our life, but when you decide that you want to get into gymming, you do that. When you want to run, you find time. So similarly, for the MIND team, there should be at least a cause-driven or purpose-driven meeting internally that should be weekly, and there should be one founder or entrepreneur, maybe from MDI, from other institutes also, invited at least fortnightly once, and it should be a 15-minute discussion from the entrepreneur and then 45 minutes of open house with pointed and serious questions. It should not be just about money, it should not be just something. So the questions also should be well researched, and the entrepreneur should also feel that there are genuine questions and a lot of homework has been done before somebody is asking. He's not there as a Google that you ask questions and he's going to throw it back. So that mentoring can start from beginning. And in your club, there should be a qualification for serious mentoring and serious mentees that you develop. So it should be built. And MDI is a great place where you have a good network now. When we started in 99, 2001, there were just 3, 4 batches. But now you have most of the people very well placed. So good time to do all of this. Good time to invite a lot of entrepreneurs, but always with a purpose and fixed time and fixed ideas that needs to be shared.
So, one other part of the question was, what advice would you give the current students, given their hectic timetable, to know or gain knowledge or to get into entrepreneurship? What all can they do? So, what advice would they give you? Would you give them?
So the first thing is when you have chosen MDI or MBA, this is a very conscious decision. Uh, till graduation, you are doing as this as a part of process, but taking MBA is a very serious affair, and everybody is pretty clear about it because it needs time and money investment. So those 2 years needs to be very well utilized. First of all, that needs to be very clear with everybody. Fun and other elements are there, but then you need to plan your time very well. So you're busy all the time. I understand there are projects and there are classes and late nights and projects which are there. But I am pretty sure that this can be much better organized. I mean, last minute coming to the class just for presentation, somehow collaborating, somehow reaching that. So that needs to be preponed and that needs to be better planned. The first thing is staying ahead of the curve. Getting up early could be a simple thing that can be done. Okay, you sleep at 12 or 1 or 2, which is okay. But there are students who understand this. They understand the importance of time and they can sleep by let's say 11 or 12 and then get up 5:30. You have 2 hours of head start where you can do a lot of things. So I would say time management should be better planned. That is very important. The second thing is identifying right teachers, doing right projects. That is also important. See, most of the time, what happens is you try to complete the project, you try to do things, but identify relevant projects which will mean something to you. And third is connecting with alumni. What you're doing right now, this is also a very important thing. And getting access to CEOs and things directly, which is another advantage that you have. Otherwise, I mean, we will not be sitting across discussing all of this.